Everyone knows the famous noirs, but the real magic of noir lives in the movies people missed. Today, we're counting down 10 underrated noir films that hit just as hard, sometimes harder, than the classics. Let's start at number 10 and work our way into pure darkness. 10. The Blue Dahlia, 1946. The Blue Dahlia feels like noir made by people who are emotionally exhausted, and that's what gives it power. Alan Ladd plays a Navy veteran returning home after World War II, expecting comfort and stability. Instead, he finds betrayal, a broken marriage, and suddenly becomes the main suspect in a murder case. What makes this film stand out isn't flashy twists or wild characters. It's the mood. Everyone feels damaged. Every conversation carries bitterness. The world doesn't care what you survived. It just keeps moving. The mystery itself is simple, but the emotional weight isn't. The film reflects a post-war America struggling to adjust, where heroes come home and realize nothing fits anymore. Even the romance feels cautious, like both characters are afraid to trust happiness. The Blue Dahlia deserves more love because it captures something honest. Sometimes the scariest thing isn't crime, it's coming home and realizing you don't belong anymore. 9. Born to Kill, 1947. Born to Kill doesn't pretend its main character is misunderstood or tragic. Lawrence Tierney plays a man who is simply dangerous, and the movie never asks you to feel sorry for him. This is a noir where the threat isn't fate or bad luck, it's personality. The killer isn't desperate, he's confident, charming, and completely aware of what he's doing. That makes every scene uncomfortable, because you know disaster is coming and no one can stop it. The women in the film aren't naive either. Desire, greed, and attraction pull everyone closer to violence. And the movie never judges, it just watches. What makes Born to Kill underrated is how ruthless it is. There's no moral speech, no redemption arc, just people making bad choices because they want to. It's cold, unsettling, and brutally honest about human nature, which makes it one of the darkest noirs of the era. 8. Criss Cross, 1949. Criss Cross is a masterclass in doomed obsession. Burt Lancaster plays a man who believes he can outsmart his past, especially his toxic relationship with his ex-wife, played by Yvonne DiCarlo. From the start, you can feel the trap closing. Every decision is emotional, not logical. Every plan is built on jealousy and pride. The film makes it painfully clear. This won't end well. What elevates Criss Cross is how personal it feels. The crime plot is strong, but the emotional tension is stronger. Lancaster's character isn't stupid. He's blinded by love and ego, which is far more dangerous. The cinematography is heavy and shadowy, mirroring the character's mental states. The ending hits hard because it feels inevitable, not shocking. This film deserves more attention because it understands a key noir truth. Sometimes the past doesn't chase you. You run straight back into it. 7. He Walked by Night, 1948. This is one of the most realistic noirs ever made. He Walked by Night follows a police manhunt for a criminal who seems almost invisible, slipping through the city like a ghost. The film feels procedural, cold, and relentless. There's no glamour here. No romantic criminals, just surveillance, mistakes, and long nights. What really makes this movie stand out is its use of real locations. The city feels alive and hostile. Storm drains, empty streets, and dark rooms create a sense of paranoia that never lets up. The criminal isn't charismatic. He's quiet, paranoid, and cornered. The police aren't heroic. They're methodical and exhausted. This film influenced countless crime movies that came later, but rarely gets credit. Its tension comes from realism, not drama, which makes it feel timeless. He Walked by Night proves noir doesn't need melodrama. Sometimes silence is scarier. 6. Raw Deal, 1948. Raw Deal is pure noir atmosphere. It's foggy, angry, and emotionally raw from the first frame. The story follows an escaped convict on the run with two women, one loyal, one dangerous. The love triangle isn't romantic, it's tense and uncomfortable, filled with jealousy and fear. What makes this movie special is its emotional narration. You're inside the characters' heads, feeling their desperation and confusion. Every decision feels rushed. Every moment feels like it could be the last. The visuals are stunning. Heavy shadows, rain-soaked streets, and claustrophobic interiors create a world where escape feels impossible. Unlike many noirs, Raw Deal leans heavily into emotion rather than mystery. It's about loyalty, betrayal, and the cost of survival. This film deserves more love because it shows noir at its most emotional. Not clever, not cool, just painfully human. 5. Night in the City, 1950. This is noir at full speed. Night in the City never slows down, and neither does its desperate main character. Richard Widmark plays a small-time hustler running through London, chasing big dreams and making enemies everywhere he goes. He talks fast, thinks faster, and never stops lying, even to himself. The city feels like a maze. Every alley is a trap. Every deal comes with consequences. Widmark's character believes one big win will save him, but the movie makes it clear he's already finished. What makes this film unforgettable is its energy. It's frantic, sweaty, and anxious. You feel the pressure building with every scene. The ending is devastating because it feels earned. No sudden twist, just reality catching up. Night in the City deserves more love for showing noir as pure momentum toward disaster. 4. Ride the Pink Horse, 1947. Ride the Pink Horse feels different from most noirs, and that difference is exactly why it stands out. Set during a lively carnival, the movie mixes bright lights with dark intentions in a way that feels unsettling from the start. Robert Montgomery plays a war veteran trying to blackmail a gangster, hoping for a clean payoff and a quick escape. Instead, he gets pulled deeper into a world of corruption, violence, and moral confusion that refuses to let him go. The carnival setting is more than just a backdrop. It's the heart of the film. Music, laughter, crowds, and colorful rides surround a story driven by fear and revenge. That contrast makes everything feel surreal, almost dreamlike, as if danger is hiding in plain sight. You're constantly aware that something is wrong, even when the screen looks cheerful. The film also quietly explores post-war trauma without turning it into a speech. The main character feels disconnected and emotionally numb, drifting through chaos and unsure where he belongs or what he's fighting for anymore. What makes Ride the Pink Horse so underrated is its refusal to follow the usual noir rhythm. It's slower, stranger, and more atmospheric, which likely confused audiences at the time. Today, it feels bold and refreshing. Ride the Pink Horse proves noir doesn't need dark alleys to be terrifying. Sometimes the scariest place is a crowd full of smiling faces. 3. The Prowler, 1951. This is one of the most disturbing noirs ever made, not because it's loud or violent, but because of how real and uncomfortable it feels. The Prowler flips classic noir expectations by making the villain a police officer, someone who's supposed to protect people. He isn't misunderstood or tragic. He's entitled, resentful, and quietly dangerous, hiding his worst instincts behind a badge and a calm voice. That alone makes the film unsettling. The story dives deep into obsession. The main character slowly convinces himself that he deserves happiness, even if achieving it means lying, manipulating, and ultimately destroying someone else's life. What's frightening is how reasonable he sounds to himself. The movie shows how easily morality can erode when someone feels justified. What makes The Prowler so effective is its restraint. There's no flashy violence or dramatic speeches. The tension builds through silence, uncomfortable conversations, and small, cruel decisions that pile up over time. The cinematography reinforces that feeling. Even in bright daylight, the world feels empty and wrong, emphasizing isolation rather than safety. When it was released, the film likely made audiences uneasy by being too honest about power and corruption. Today, it feels shockingly modern, and it absolutely deserves more recognition. 2. Too Late for Tears, 1949. This is one of the greatest femme fatale performances ever put on screen, and somehow, it still doesn't get the attention it deserves. Barbara Stanwyck plays a woman who finds a suitcase full of money and makes her decision instantly. There's no panic, no second thoughts, and definitely no guilt. The money is hers, and anyone who stands in the way becomes a problem to solve. That confidence is what makes her so dangerous. What really sets this movie apart is that it never tries to soften her edges. She isn't conflicted or misunderstood. She's greedy, manipulative, and completely proud of it. Stanwyck plays her with icy control, turning charm on and off whenever it suits her. The men around her don't stand a chance. They're weak, naive, or convinced they can handle her until it's far too late. The story moves fast, fueled by lies, betrayals, and shifting alliances. Every scene raises the tension, making the inevitable downfall feel both shocking and earned. The ending delivers pure noir justice, cold, brutal, and unforgettable. Too Late for Tears deserves way more love because it gives us a femme fatale who isn't mysterious. She's honest about who she is, and that honesty makes her terrifying. 1. Detour, 1945. At number 1 is Detour, a film that feels like fate itself is angry, personal, and completely unforgiving. This movie strips noir down to its bare bones. A man tries to start over, hoping that one long drive across the country will give him a clean slate. Instead, the universe seems to notice his optimism and immediately punishes him for it. Every step forward leads to something worse, and every choice tightens the trap. Everything feels cheap, cramped, and hostile, and that's exactly the point. The low budget doesn't hurt the film, it defines it. The empty roads, shadowy rooms, and suffocating interiors make the world feel cruel and indifferent, like it's designed to grind people down. The femme fatale is vicious, paranoid, and unforgettable. She doesn't seduce, she attacks. She senses weakness and exploits it without mercy. Meanwhile, the main character isn't heroic or clever. He's scared, exhausted, and completely powerless, which makes his downfall feel painfully real. There's no escape here, no redemption, just bad luck stacking on bad luck until hope disappears. Detour doesn't ask you to believe in destiny, it forces you to feel trapped by it, and that's why it's the most underrated noir of all time. Noir isn't about perfect crimes or clever endings, it's about people making one wrong choice and paying forever. So which of these films surprised you the most? And which underrated noir do you think deserves more love? Drop your pick in the comments, hit like if you enjoyed the countdown, and subscribe for more deep dives into the darker side of cinema.